I was gonna start this video off by calling you guys monkeys, but something about me in particular saying that didn't sit right with me. So instead, hello you sexy animals. Today we're talking about Geto and how not to succeed. We're talking about one of the sexiest, strongest, and most unhinged characters in all of Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's begin. Who is Suguru Geto? Well, he made up the strongest duo with Gojo, and that doesn't just mean strength-wise. He is definitely canonically one of the prettiest characters in the series, and as a duo, they are two fucking pretty boys. We love to see it. Next, he's straight up racist. He calls non-Jujutsu sorcerers a different breed, a different race, monkeys. He wants to literally commit genocide on them, eradicate them from existing. He might actually be the worst long-term planner not only in Jujutsu Kaisen, but ever in the history of anime. And I have a whole slide dedicated to this later, so put a pin in it and we'll come back to it. And he is insane. He did not just go through a hard time. I don't know who needs to hear that, Ghetto fans or you. So many times on forums or when I'm talking to real people, I know, I go outside, you should try it sometime. So many times when I'm talking to people, I hear the, oh my god, Geto is just a troubled human being who went through a really tough time and became a villain. No. The man is a fucking lunatic. You do not go from a normal human being to a murderous genocidal cunt in like 2 days. Okay, granted it was a little bit more than 2 days, but you get what I mean. Next, he gave Yuki a great talk no jutsu feat. She was on screen for like one panel in the entire hidden inventory arc, and what she said to Geto completely changed his life opinions and made him into a murderous madman. She's approaching Naruto levels of talk no jutsu here with her silver tongue. And I mean, no, she's not Naruto because she didn't call Obito the coolest guy and made him switch sides, but dang, what she did to Geto is quite impressive. And Aono Sumika and the hidden inventory arc in general is so fucking peak, and he's part of it, and he's part of what makes it awesomely peak. I feel like, besides Drake's songs, Aono Sumika is like the soundtrack to my life, because no matter what I'm doing, where I'm going, that shit is in my ears. And finally, he's one of the better written characters. He's a little bit worse in the anime because his descent into madness isn't as gradual as it is in the manga, but JJK has a very top-heavy cast, and he is part of the top-heaviness, a well-written character. We'll get into that in a sec. So how is he an awful planner? We said we'd talk about it. Well, racist Ghetto plans makes no sense, okay? So the amount of negative cursed energy release, as we've established, would be fucking massive if he went out and decided to kill literally every non-sorcerer, okay? I don't know if the sorcerers could handle that amount of cursed energy. Next, how the fuck did he plan on doing it with his fodder-ass group? I mean, the strongest person in his group was probably who? Miguel? If Gojo on a whim decided not to love Geto more than anything and unconditionally, Geto's plan was cooked. Next, I thought about this. What if a non-sorcerer is born to two sorcerers? Is Geto just expecting them to kill their child? And the answer is obviously yes, because Geto did exactly that to his parents. So I guess I've answered my own question, but does he really expect two sorcerers to do so? Also, in JJK 0, how the fuck was Rika gonna help him against Gojo? How is Infinity being bypassed, and how is his hand-to-hand even gonna match up close to the level of Gojo's strength? And similarly, what did he even know about Rika? When he was fighting Yuta in JJK 0, Geto was like, holy fuck, this dude can copy abilities, this thing can stash Kurt. He knew nothing about Rika. Why did he think that she would help him defeat Gojo? All I'm saying is that his plan wasn't actively thought out, and there's two more points. A, why was he actively hurting sorcerers during the parade? Obviously, that's kind of weird because he didn't want to kill them. What if he ended up killing them? And B, what about the doctors, the engineers, the farmers? Obviously, Kashima wasn't revived yet, so there weren't any sorcerer farmers. But what about the normal people that need to be alive for the world to continue functioning? To be honest, a lot of this can probably just be attributed to Gege not knowing where the story's going to go after JJK 0. But in universe, Geto, use your fucking brain. Okay, we bashed on him a little bit, but we do gotta say, Geto is still written very well, and this is why. In Season 1, he appears as the leader of the Disaster Curses. Immediately, we're intrigued by his character, and we're drawn to know more about him as the mastermind of these guys. And then we take a flashback to JJK 0, and we see his motivations and goals, right? We see a connection to Gojo, we see that he has a friendship with Gojo, and we want to know more about that. And as we want to know more about him, we realize that at the end of JJK 0, he actually dies. Then we get what he wants, and Hidden Inventory in Season 2 of the anime makes him into a beloved character by connecting him to Gojo. Those 5 episodes were peak and absolutely made Geto a beloved character. However, in Shibuya we learned that he dies at the end of JJK 0. Truly did die, and that Kenjaku is in his body. So here's why the writing is so good, for Geto at least. We go from disliking him, to hating him, to liking him in Hidden Inventory, to realizing that it wasn't him, which ends up making us just love him as a character. We've forgiven him for everything that he has done, even as a villain. We feel bad for him. We feel bad for Kenjaku taking his body because he's friends with Gojo, and hidden inventory. And of course we can talk about the complexity of his character and his mental breakdown and what he means as a foil to Gojo, but in general, just like kind of the trajectory of the writing is very interestingly done. So he was dubbed one of the strongest in Season 2. He's not Gojo, obviously, but he is limitless, basically, because Curse Spirit Manipulation is so fucking busted. Like, there's literally almost no cap to this ability, and Kenjaku could have used it to much greater effect, but whatever, we'll let it slide. So in my opinion, realistically, he's top 5 and potentially top 3 right after Gojo and Sukuna. I really do think there's a strong argument to be made, even over current Yuta, if Geto reached his full potential and used CSM like it was supposed to be used. And some of you say, oh, Toji, no, adult Geto definitely beats Toji. I do not want to fucking hear that. And finally, I think if Sukuna actually got Curse Spirit Manipulation, he'd low-key be stronger than he was with the 10 Shadows. Sukuna would probably bust out some fucking crazy bullshit if he had that ability. I mean, Limitless and CSM, low-key, and maybe Idle Transfiguration, top 3. Okay, what can we say about the racist, about Jujutsu Hitler before Kenjaku Jujutsu Hitler? Well, we know that in every friend group, there is one friend, the racist, and that is what Geto is to Gojo. Just like Hisoka, he's written in a way to make you like him, but he's absolutely batshit. If you think that he is not an insane character, if you think that what he was doing was justified and warranted, dude, I'm hollow purpling your ass through the fucking screen. And he has a curse technique that is absolutely nutso busted. I just ranted about it in the last slide, so I don't have to go into details here. But there's something that is much more important than strength, and that is what you look like. Remember, image is everything. He is part of the pretty boy duo. Obviously, he's second. But come on, Geto's goated in strength and looks. Dang, he's just like you for real. And he is the least forward-thinking JJK character because his plan would never have ever fucking worked in a million years. I could have told you that, Geto. You should have discussed with me. But no matter how much we shit on him, no matter how much we talk about how fucking insane he is, he's absolutely beloved by the community, and with reason. He's interesting, written well, has cool powers, cool personality, as a character in a fictional piece of writing. That makes a good one. But most importantly, to me at least, what is Geto? He's my one and only best friend. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Geto PR team, let me hear you in the comments below. What do you think about the racist himself? Do you agree or disagree? Am I completely off in my assessment of his lunacy or Curse Spirit Manipulation being absolutely not so busted? Let me know. And as always, if there's any other type of content you want to see, please let me know. I'll try to chef it up for you. One of these days I gotta make a day in the life of Gojo or Toji and actually go out into the real world and do it. Beef with teenagers or something. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.